What's your passion? What makes you wake up every morning? What keeps you up at night? What values do you believe in? What problems do you want to solve? Lastly, what makes you, you? Hi, this is Jen Kahukom, and welcome to Your Brand, Your Story podcast, where we share stories and conversations about humanness and authenticity. What we have for today is a very special guest. I say special because he has shown the way to a lot of people that unicorns do exist. More specifically, I'm referring to his process, now known to a lot of people as hashtag unicorning, which is, by the way, also one of his hashtags. And this is all because of his beliefs, values, and convictions, which is written all over his best selling book, aptly titled Hashtag Best Me Ever. Aside from being a best selling author, he's a global life and neuro linguistic programming master coach, a TEDx speaker, a radio talk show host, and an entrepreneur. Let's all welcome Myke Celis. Hi, Mike.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. So thank
Great.
you. Thank you again for agreeing to be my guest for this
Mm-hmm.
episode.
My
Okay.
pleasure.
Thanks again. So yeah, I'll cut to the chase because I'm pretty sure our listeners are eager to know more about you. So
Mm-hmm.
can you tell us a bit more about yourself? Tell us more about your passion and the work that you do.
Okay. Again, if I would describe myself in one word, it would be a unicorn. But if I would be more specific about it, in a nutshell, what I do is I inspire people to become their own hashtag best me ever, meaning to be their own authentic, unapologetic, and the best version of themselves, basically. Whether as a coach, as an author, as an entrepreneur, or as a speaker, that remains to be my solid goal each and every time.
That's really amazing. I mean, was was there a turning point in your life when when you've decided that yes, I want to be known as a unicorn, and I want it to involve the unicorning process. I mean, was there any personal experience in your life that you'd like to share for those who are going through the same journey?
Uh-huh. I always begin uh my story with the fact that again, when I was younger, my parents forgot that instead of giving birth to a young boy, they gave birth to a unicorn. And I knew from a very young age that I was different. Um, I didn't really want to, engage in rough housing with the other boys of my age. I would rather hang out with my girl classmates. Um, I would rather do things differently. And just to be clear, the context of being a unicorn is, as very much the same with that mythical creature. It speaks about something that's magical, something that's different, something that's out of the ordinary. And growing up with conservative parents and a conservative society, I was made to believe that being different was wrong. So, growing up, I came from a dysfunctional family, got bullied in school, had physically abusive relationships, and got betrayed by a friend of 15 years who left me almost bankrupt. So, I guess if you would ask for turning points, I had several, but it wasn't until the last thing I mentioned that I actually managed to embrace myself whole. Simply because when you find yourself at the lowest point in your life and you realize that you actually have a choice whether to just give up or give it all you got. With nothing else to lose, I chose the latter. and started embarking on my own journey of becoming my own hashtag best me ever. Because before, even though I was really successful as a marketing and advertising executive for 17 years, meaning I built my own company from scratch, won awards, got featured in magazines, um, earned millions. But deep inside, I wasn't happy because I was coming from grit, too much of it, anger, wanting to prove myself among others. But then again, when all those things happened and I found myself at the lowest point in my life, I realized that, hey, there's nothing else to lose. Might as well make myself happy by owning my space and, embracing myself fully. And for the first time ever, after X number of years, okay? 30 more years to be 30 years to be exact. I found myself like, let's do this. I don't need a wall anymore. I don't need to put on a facade to be the person that everyone expects me to be. And what I did was I took a step back and assessed myself, what is it that I wanted to do for the rest of my life every single day if I wasn't paid? And the answer was, talk to inspire. And what I did was I started teaching in graduate school on a part-time basis. But then again, my students would ask me about life lessons instead of the lessons they asked that they learned in class. So from the time on, I got really confused. What is it telling me? But during the time, I was also posting the lessons I've learned from my previous experiences on Facebook. And it resonated with so many people. I started using hashtag best me ever then. And that led to a publisher asking me to publish my own book under that series. And that opened doors for me and opened my eyes also to the possibility that I might be, being led to do something else. And during one of those sessions wherein I had to reflect, I found myself resonating with Oprah Winfrey, Tony Robbins, Ellen DeGeneres, all of whom that when they speak, you know, they change the people's lives at an instant, and that is a beautiful experience. And I wanted that, so I did my research further and found out that they had coaches or they coached themselves. And so, starting from scratch, 4.5 years ago, I decided to embark on my journey to becoming a life coach. And 4.5 years, almost 5 years later, here I am now, living my dreams every single day, changing lives, and unleashing the unicorns within. And that's the beauty of the what happened to me in the past. It's because all over the world, there's a unicorn out there who would resonate with my story. And I continue on every single day in search for those people who are now gravitating towards my space.
Wow, that's really incredible. I also love the people that you admire, yeah, Oprah, Tony
Mm-hmm.
Robbins, and who's that? Ellen DeGeneres, of course. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I see that you really paid attention to the patterns and not just really did an introspection. So you also
Mm-hmm.
paid attention to just like what you said, the questions that your students would ask you, and which has really led you to to continue your journey and make work really meaningful. So
Uh-huh.
yeah. Now, I mean, more often than not, we focus on the destination than the journey, when in fact we should give equal importance to the journey as the destination. Now, tell us about a moment in your life when you really wanted to achieve or have something, but it wasn't going to be easy, but still did it anyway.
Oh, okay. I think I had several, but let me just share a few. Number one was shifting careers altogether. I mean, I had a strong marketing and advertising background. So, shifting careers into becoming a full-time life coach, so to speak, I got a lot of flack from other people. Like, what happened to you? Why are you putting, you know, my career to waste? In their words. So I'm like, um, no, but it's something that I really wanted. I thought it was impossible. I thought that I would just do it on the side. But then again, after practicing and putting my heart and soul into what I do and generating the results that I want and which my clients want also through the years consistently, I was able to prove them wrong. I guess that's one of the things that actually was difficult for me. Another thing, I guess, which you can consider as a uh turning point wherein I really had to be uncomfortable was pursuing my TEDx dreams. At first I only wanted one, but now you're talking to a person who has done 13, and half of those were done abroad. It was really more of uh, putting myself in a position that if I had only one chance in this world to do everything that I want and in my bucket list, why shouldn't I do it now? What guarantee do I have that I would fail? And when I answered that I had no guarantees, but the thing is, at least I tried, and so I did, and that made it, and I made it happen. Same goes with my books. I only wanted one book, and now I'm launching my fifth one soon. So, and internationally, never in my wildest dreams have I, um, thought that I would be a local bestseller and an international best-selling author also. But then again, it's all about, believing in myself and just doing my best. And whatever the results may be, I guess I would always be grateful that at least I tried. It's much, much, much better for me that I focus on what could still be than live a life filled with regrets and thinking about all those things which could have been. So there.
Wow. I'm really learning a lot. That is really inspiring. And it's really like more and more people should really embrace that, embrace, just simply embrace the fact that they should just listen to their own voice, because it's,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, simply put, it's their life anyway. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's amazing to think that when you listen to your own voice and you try to pursue something, because you listen to that voice, you are more able to make impact in other people's lives. So it's not just like fulfilling your own interests, but also making an impact in other people's as well. So
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
yeah, I do recognize that the journey wasn't easy, but the lessons are really treasures that you can share with other people. I would like to dig a little deeper,
Mm-hmm.
if you will. I'm taking advantage of this time because you're a life coach anyway. So I'm pretty
Sure.
sure you're used to this kind of question.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm pretty sure our listeners would want to know more about the human side of life coach Myke Celis. So,
Mm-hmm.
was there a moment when you were vulnerable? Can you share with us that moment, and what did you learn from that vulnerable moment?
Oh my
Mm.
God. Every single day, ever since I started my own journey towards becoming my own hashtag best me ever and becoming the face of that brand, vulnerability has always been my strongest suit. So, meaning, I say things as they are, I express my feelings without any filter at all. And, that's how people resonate with my story because they see and feel the raw emotions that I had. And that's the beauty of it. While some people, especially those who are high performing, are having a hard time, showing their true selves. I guess with what I've been through, what I learned was that, you know what? The only way you're going to be happy if you just allow yourself to just be. And I did. The way I'm talking to you right now is the way I talk to other people, and you can attest to that. And the way I host, the way I write, and everything else that I do it's very much consistent because I don't have to put on any mask to play a certain role. What you see is definitely what you get. And that would always be the Myke Celis that is me within. So there.
That's really true. And more often than not, we associate vulnerability with weakness when in
Mhm.
fact it leads the way to authenticity. And
Exactly.
and one's authenticity is one's best weapon. So
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
true, yeah, I mean, we should really get rid of the mask just because we
Uh-huh.
want to aspire for something big. I mean, the way to aspire for something big is really by being yourself. And
Can I
yeah.
share something with you,
Yes,
Jen?
please.
Which I felt changed me altogether. Again, before when I was just starting in my journey to become a global life coach that I wanted to be, I had Tony Robbins, I had Oprah in mind, I had, Ellen. I wanted to be them. But then there was this time wherein I got an invite for an international conference, and I was talking to the organizer, and I had to thank him. So I said, "Thank you very much for having me." Hashtag road to the Tony Robbins. The reply of that foreign organizer changed my life fully because what he said was, "No, Myke, it's hashtag road to the Myke Celis." It changed me because I realized right then and there I was trying to be someone else. I had someone else in mind, but in reality, I was more than enough. And that is what they saw. And that made me feel very, very, very comfortable in my own skin. And knowing that, I carry that lesson with me every single day. And I tell that to all my coaches right now who may have other people in mind when it comes to their dreams. At the end of the day, I would revert them back to what is it that you really want and what is it that you're really meant to be. Because at their journey there.
I just got goosebumps, Coach Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, really, really, I just got goosebumps.
Uh-huh.
It's amazing that when you put yourself out there,
Mm-hmm.
it's there will really be people who will rally for you
Mm-hmm.
and really make you realize and put you in the right direction. I mean, where you should where you should be, where you're meant to be. So yeah,
Exactly.
the hashtag really did make an impact to you, and that's really amazing.
Uh-huh. And at the end of the day, Jen, I am the face behind hashtag best me ever. So I cannot be like anyone else. And my pride and joy right now is that looking at the industry, whether here or internationally, I am the only one I know as of this moment, the only openly gay global master coach for life coaching, neurolinguistic programming, and timeline therapy in the category who's also a best-selling author.
Wow. And
So it's really about creating that niche. And
true.
and I finally, overcame my own fear because before, if I may be candid about it, I used to fear coaching straight men. But guess what? Right now, because of my previous experiences of discrimination while growing up, and I've proven them wrong time and again, right now, I have a lot of alpha males who are very successful globally under my wing. And that's the beauty of it. Because they've accepted me for who and what I am, and they believe in what I can do.
Wow. It's ang galing, no? Nagtagalog na ako kasi na-amaze talaga ako. Oo,
Thank
kasi
you.
um it's paano ba? It's like when you really take action. I mean, imagine if you had you not taken action, you wouldn't be the only one, 'di ba? I mean, you were able to
Exactly.
own your niche. And
Exactly. If I
Yes.
listen to all those people who told me I couldn't do it, because it's true, during the time when I shifted my career, I'm like my other friends were gone.
Yes.
Because,
Mhm.
and the other people I've worked with before, they just couldn't, seem to accept it. And now that I am owning my space, slowly they're coming back. But then what I realize is that it's okay to outgrow other people, because right now, the current space I have are filled with those who are really meant to be there from the start.
Right, right. Now, with with all of that you've shared so far about your work, about your belief, about your insights, about
Mm-hmm.
your experiences in general, those must have contributed a lot, um, with the lens that you've either consciously or unconsciously look through when it comes to life. Now, can you share with us what is life now for you, given all these years of experiences, journeys, and
Mm-hmm.
trials and whatnot?
Uh-huh. Um, Life for me right now is my dream come true. Seriously. I went out with my mom this morning and had quiet time with her. And we began to talk about how fortunate we are amidst what's happening right now in the pandemic. While other people are losing their jobs, companies are closing and all. I am thriving in my space. And that was my biggest fear then. I totally believe right now that, life is opening up for me all the abundance that it has, simply because every single day I chose to remain true to myself and my purpose. And my purpose, it's all about giving back by inspiring others to discover their own hashtag best me ever. And maybe, just maybe someday, the world will be a better place to live in with so many unicorns in it.
Now, if you were to describe yourself in one word, Mike, what would that be?
Unicorn.
Oh, obvious nga naman. Yes, I love
Unicorn.
that. Yes. And then
Mm-hmm.
now for my last question. Yeah, and I love this question. Once all is said and done, how would you
Mm-hmm.
like to be remembered?
I would like to be remembered as someone who followed his heart, chased his dreams, made it happen, and inspired others to become their own hashtag best me ever in the process. And that it's okay to be the unicorn that one is meant to be, just like me.
There you have it, folks. Straight from the unicorn's mouth. Coach Myke Celis, thank you. Thank you very much for sharing such invaluable insights. I'm sure our listeners, will be playing this on repeat to backtrack all the valuable nuggets that you have shared. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I had fun.
Me too. Thank you. Thank you for listening to today's episode. This has been Your Brand, Your Story. Stories and conversations about humanness and authenticity. And I'm your host, Jen Kahukom. Do you have a story to share? Send me a message by visiting my website at jenkahukom.asia.